Hello, everyone, and welcome to metroTV. I'm your host, Andy Hoig, publisher and CEO of Metro Magazine. We have a special episode today talking with organizations, nonprofits, and businesses about how they're being impacted and also dealing with the coronavirus. So don't go away. We will be right back. Well, I am so excited to be here with Roberta Wilhelm. She is the executive director of Girls Inc. Roberta, it's so good to see you, and thank you for joining me today.
Hey, I'm thrilled to be here.
All right, well, before we get into, you've got a major event coming up, but let's just talk a little bit about Girls Inc. And who do you serve, kind of the mission behind the organization.
Sure. So the mission overall is to inspire the girls we serve to grow up strong, smart, and bold, which we look at as healthy, educated, and independent. So we're working with girls ages 5 to 18, and then some young women also through college or trades or transitioning to independent living as well. So It's quite a broad range. It's pretty much a young girl's life, basically. We work with girls from North and South Omaha, from anywhere in the community, but those are the girls that we focus on.
Yeah. And I have to ask you, I mean, how long have you been the executive director? I mean, this has been a long, I mean, not a long journey, but yeah, you've been there for a while.
I have been there for a while. I've been there 17 years, and the girls who were 5 when I started are college seniors now. Yeah. So it is a young girl's lifetime, basically. Yeah. I mean, or growing up period. So these little kindergarten girls that I met when I started are now getting ready to graduate college.
Yeah. And this is a little, I mean, talking about the event coming up, but things have changed over the last 17 years. Am I correct in saying things have changed and things actually have not changed? I mean, kind of in the issues and what you're dealing with?
Yeah. So Girls Inc., just even historically, which it started in the 1860s in the United States, has had to change to evolve with the changing needs of the girls. But the girls, the part that doesn't change is the girls are the front and center. They tell us what their needs are. We listen to them. Their voices matter. They're a big part of what we do at Girls Inc. And so regardless of what's going on in the community and society and the world, we're trying to focus in on those voices of the girls that we're serving and adapt the programs, adapt adults to the girls rather than vice versa.
Yeah. And you have a physical location. And what's the address?
Well, we have one at 45th and Maple and one at 30th and S. And we have also a transitional housing on North 65th Avenue. So we have a couple of facilities. The biggest one is 45th and Maple.
Okay. And how have things during COVID-19, because you've had to adjust a little bit, I just want to chat a little bit about that.
Sure. So initially we went fully remote, and it was, we started a pilot with 7 girls to see how it went. And the next week we had 27, and then the next week 127, and it just built from there. Now we're doing a combination of remote programming as well as proctoring, basically girls who are 100% remote learners for public school, or girls who are going on the 3-2 model. On the days when they're not in school, they can come to Girls Inc. and we'll help them get their logged on and stay engaged with school during the day, do the work they're supposed to do, as well as have fun programming when they don't have to be logged on.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so many different changes, especially, I mean, over the last 7 to 6 months, 6 to 7 months. You've always been, Girls Inc. has been such an important organization in this community for so many years, and then having to pivot, but you do what you have to do.
Yeah, we're trying to stay nimble because it's back and forth right now. Yeah. But we're also taking supplies to girls' homes. We're taking cleaning and hygiene supplies, hand sanitizer, masks, birthday bags, Snackalicious, which the girls used to get once a week in the centers. It's a big deal.
And is that a way for the community to give back to you? Or is that a way to support you to either drop off items? Or, I mean, I think, cash is having financial funding, then you can go out and buy those things. But let's just talk before we get into the event a little bit about how, because the community is wanting to support nonprofits.
Sure. Yes, we can definitely use the support. We've been really grateful for the outpouring of craft supplies, hygiene supplies, cleaning supplies, clothing, you name it, school supplies that we've been able to take to the girls, yoga mats, yoga. Mindfulness right now during this stressful time is so important. And the girls, we can do it with them virtually, but they need to have those things in their homes in order to participate in an art class or a STEM workshop or a yoga class. So those type of donations are wonderful.
Yeah. And I'm so glad you said that, because you know what, for families that want to like contribute goods, I mean, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I would love to go buy a yoga mat or two.
Okay, well,
and
do
drop
it.
off. Yeah. I mean, that was not something that I would even think about. So yeah. So really good information. All right. You've got Lunch for the Girls event coming up. This has been, what is the year?
20
20
years of Lunch for the Girls. Yeah.
Wow. Oh my goodness. And you have an amazing speaker. It's going to be virtual. But let's talk about the speaker, because, oh my goodness.
Right. So this year it's Gloria Steinem, the iconic feminist author, political activist, speaker. We're really thrilled. She's someone who has been very active in the women's movement, gender equity, but also racial equity as well, and amplifying the voices of Black women in the movement, in addition to her own and those of white women. So she's a really cool, timely speaker right now.
Yeah. All right. And so you had to pivot. Like, I think every nonprofit, I won't even say every other one, every nonprofit this year had to either decide to have their event or to reschedule or postpone or cancel, so to speak. But this is a virtual event that's coming up in November.
Yes, we like to say you'll have the best seat in the house. Everyone gets a front row seat to this event, which is nice. You'll still see the girls. They'll be doing some program sharing. They'll be interacting with Ms. Steinem. They'll be having a moderated conversation with her. So you're going to see live streaming of the girls and Ms. Steinem, which I think is very cool, rather than just taping something she did at another time. This is in real time, and it's an hour, so you'll be in and out over your lunch hour, and we're hoping that it makes it more accessible. There's no travel, there's no parking, you just get in and out. And
also there's no seating limitation. So
right.
You know, this is typically an event that has 1,200, 1,500. I mean, this is a big event, but now you could have 3,000 people.
That's right. And from anywhere, right? From across the country. So
So the event, I'm looking on your website. I'm like switching over to computer. So it's November 16th from 12 to 1. And then people can register.
Yes, through our website. Through www.girlsincomaha.org. Just go to the website and go to special events. You can register very easily online. And if you have any questions, you can call Girls Inc. And I'll give you email of my assistant, Ms. Shannon, because she's awesome and helps everyone with every detail. So if you have any trouble, she'll help you.
And then registration is open up until?
Well, probably until right up close to the event. I'm sure we'll have to shut it down just to manage the logistics, but it'll be right before the event.
I mean, and I always encourage people, don't wait until the very last minute, please. You know.
Thank you, Andy. I appreciate that. Yeah.
And register now. But again, I am so excited for this event, and to hear Gloria to just talk about, you know, everything that she is just so passionate about and expertise, you know, in her conversations with people. And again, I just want to thank you. I mean, rather than cancel or say we'll postpone this till next year or whatnot, this is the way to go, because we need this information and we need this kind of, you know, these events to continue on.
And the girls need us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So last question. Okay. We talked a little bit. Is there any way else that people can support the community to support Girls Inc.?
Well, definitely things, as we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
The day of the event, we have 2 local restaurants that are doing fundraisers for us, Big Mama's and
Okay.
Best Burger. And Best Burger is also co-owned by one of our alums, Ashley Spivey. So that's kind of cool.
Ashley's
It's a
great.
way
Yeah.
for her to give back as well. But yes, advocacy, check us out, our social media, help amplify the girls' voices. When they have messaging that they want to put out, we love for folks to do that. We're looking for volunteers to help us organize cleaning and hygiene supplies. There are lots of ways to participate.
Yeah. All right. Well, again, have people reach out to your website, girlsincomaha.org. And I know I'm looking at it now. There's so much information on this website, how people can help you. And thank you again for joining me. And I'm so excited for this event. So
Great. Looking forward to it.
Yep, we'll see you there. All right. Thanks, Roberta.
Thanks.
Well, welcome everybody. I'm here with Dawn Gonzalez. She is the Vice President of Community Development for Centris Federal Credit Union. Dawn, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks, Andy. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. All right. So there's so much going on in the world and so much going on in our community. And, one of the things Central Federal Credit Union really focuses on is financial wellness. You have a financial wellness center because during COVID-19, there are different things potentially that people need to look at. So I'll let you kind of take it away and talk about that.
Sure. So thanks, Andy, for having me today. We have a Centris Financial Wellness platform on our website, centristfcu.org. And if you do /education, there is a whole, I think there's 4 different components that are available to the public for free. We have backed off on some of the in-person learning. We've got Mad City Money for our high schoolers, and we've been working with a couple of DJs, Chef West and Twitty, going out and doing an adulting series with students from UNO and other young adults, asking them about just questions that relate to their financial lives and how much they know, and kind of quizzing them in a fun sort of way. But more importantly, we've got this online platform that allows people to do learning in person, right here on their laptop, in their slippers if they want to. We have so many people working from home, but we also have a lot of people in this community that have lost their jobs. And we want to make sure that they're taking care of themselves and their finances and understanding what they might need to do to prepare for next steps. Certainly people are maybe looking for other jobs, or maybe they're concerned about what's going to happen next year. Maybe they are working and they're working with their kids and trying to teach them financial education at home. And so through this platform, there are over 50 different modules. They're all between 4 and 7 minutes. And one in particular that I really like, it's Financial Wellness on Uncertain Times is the name of the module. It's like a playlist. So if you think about your old iPod and the playlist that you might have had with, remember the click wheels? This is very similar. It's a playlist of financial education. So there's one about building an emergency savings account, debt management, mortgage relief, mindful living, because during stressful times and money problems bring on stress. Healthy financial habits. So those are the things that we want people to be aware of, and it's accessible for free through our website. Just click in. You can create a login if you would like, so that you can track your progress, but it's not necessary. We like to see when people do, because then we know that people are paying attention, but truly it's available for anybody who wants to come to the website and learn more about how to manage their money.
Yeah. And I know, Centris has always been very mindful. I mean, we've had conversations over the years about helping people create a financial wellness program, or just be financially literate, really. I mean, just understanding their finances. And that's always been a really important piece of what Centris has done. But again, as we're talking about taking it to a different level, because you throw a pandemic in there, and when there is so much uncertainty, there are other things that really come into play that potentially people haven't thought about. And I love, I love the different categories, but let's just talk about financial wellness a little bit more. And we talked about where they can find the resources, the different classes, but just between you and me, I mean, financial wellness is also taking care of yourself. I mean, you have to have a financial investment in yourself as well, and just being able to do things in your life that are taking care of yourself. And I know I'm going a little bit off the beaten track, but overall, that piece, when you look at wellness, it is your finances and also your family. So
we started this a couple of years ago as a way to enhance what is being done in the workplace already. So you might have a wellness plan where your employer is challenging you to drink 8 glasses of water a day or walk a mile a night. And we know that the number one stress in most Americans' lives is money. Certainly they're thinking about losing weight and they're thinking about being healthier, but stress creates illness. And if you're not thinking about where your money's at and you're not understanding how it works, then you're really not reaching that pinnacle that you could be when you've got everything else working for you. So you're eating healthy, you're drinking the water, you're walking your steps, and you're doing all of that. But your Fitbit or your Apple Watch isn't going to tell you how much is in your bank account and how you can best manage that. And, Centris lives by our mission of to being your lifelong financial partner, and to really live that out, we wanted to be able to offer tools to the community, not just the people that bank with us, but to the community, so that everyone has access to this education.
Yeah, because this is for your members, but it's also for people that are non-members, all
Correct.
this information that you're putting out there. And again, having this conversation with you and going a little bit off the beaten path, I mean, do you have like a couple tips or like what are maybe your top 5 tips or top 3 tips? I'm just totally.
I think for me, and this is something that I share with youngsters. I've got a daughter in college and one that just recently graduated. And I always share with them, pay yourself first. And I share that with others too. That doesn't necessarily mean a lot of money, but it for me, it means setting up that emergency savings account so that if something were to happen, I get into a fender bender and I've got maybe a high deductible on my insurance. I don't want to necessarily put $500 or $1,000 on my credit card. I want to be able to just pay for that out of my savings account. And to get $1,000 into a savings account, that sounds like a lot of money to some people.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, it's such an unattainable goal. But if you break it down into very small steps, and maybe it's $10 a week, maybe it's $10 a month. It's whatever you can afford. I mean, certainly we'd love to see everybody have $1,000 in their savings accounts and continue to grow that so that they have that emergency savings. But it's just really starting from very basic. So maybe this week I'm going to give up a cup of coffee, or I'm going to give up a lunch out. Lunch at some of the fast food restaurants might cost $10. I might be able to pack one from home more inexpensively and put that into savings. And the best way to do that is to talk to your banker and have them automatically pull that money into a savings account. So it's set and forget. You don't have to worry about it again. And if you have it set up on a monthly basis or every other week, you decide what's going to be best for you and what you can afford. But by working with your banker, they will help you get to that goal. And again, you set it, forget it. And a year down the road, when you might need that emergency money, it's there. And you can take a big sigh of relief that you don't have to put it on a credit card or take a loan out to pay for something like that.
Yeah. I mean, I have a 10% account that I just take out some 10% of whatever comes into my world financially, and I put it in a 10% account, and I make sure, I don't touch it unless I need it. but there's almost a stress relief knowing that this is here. I'm accumulating wealth. I'm accumulating, a savings account. And it's so important. That actually helps you, just your physical and
Yes.
mental being as well, is just to know that you got that money, because there's nothing worse than just having something pop up and you're not sure how you're going to pay for it. And that just happens. That happens.
Yep.
For all of us.
And if you don't know, then you don't know what you don't know. So we want to make sure that people have access to it. Just go look for the information. It's 5 minutes. There's lots of different modules there. You'll find what you're looking for. And, too, we've got everything from learning how to save for a house to maybe you're looking to purchase a new vehicle and you're trying to decide, is a lease better for me or should I purchase it outright? There's a lot of different topics that are available, not just, dealing with COVID right now and how we're trying to get through this pandemic.
Yeah. And, some of the questions that we had, prior to the interview is, I think you just answered, why now? I mean, why now? With the pandemic, it's important now, but, the future of everybody and being financially fit is just so important.
It is.
Do you have any last words of inspiration for us? And again, thank you for this conversation.
Sure. I think just this is tough for everybody. But if you're taking care of yourself, mind and body and pocketbook, those treats are something that we all need. I stopped by on my way to the office today for a cup of coffee, but I don't do it every day. I'm putting money into my savings account too, just so that I can plan and build for my future and know that it's going to be secure.
Yeah, so important for all of us during this time. And again, appreciate you, Dawn, and appreciate Central Federal Credit Union for having this information on the website. So again, the website is Centris FCU. I'm looking at .org/financial-wellness, which is going to be at the bottom of the screen. So everybody can find that out. But yeah, lots of really great information and appreciate it so much.
Thank you, Andy.
And I hope to see you in person soon.
I do too. Take care.
Take care. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you everyone for joining me today. You can find out more about Metro Magazine and so many wonderful nonprofits. Go to spiritofomaha.com and please follow us on Facebook, like us on Facebook, Metro Magazine, all one word. We'll be posting a lot of information there as well. Thank you, and we will see you back here next week.